Hello everyone, welcome back to our channel Part 4 Networking and Internet. Today's topic is cyber threats and cyber security. Cyber threats and cyber security. As we all know that the use of networking and internet is increasing day by day, so security is becoming a prime concern for each and everyone who is using internet and networking. The internet represents an insecure channel for exchanging information. As we all know that there are many hackers on the internet who can hack our information and can also misuse it. So we need to have a secure channel, whereas the internet has become an insecure channel. Security concerns, malwares, eavesdropping, DOS attack, phishing, cybercrime are the few security concerns that we are going to discuss today. Malwares. Malware is basically a software which is designed intentionally to harm the computer or the computer network. Today we will be discussing different types of malwares. First is virus. What is virus? Virus is a computer program which, when executed, replicates itself by modifying other computer program and inserting its own code. Basically, this definition is telling us how the virus works. It first of all makes its several copies and then causes the system to slow down or even stop functioning. Different types of viruses are boot sector virus, file infector virus and macrovirus. Worm is another type of malware which is received via network, usually as an email attachment. It may crash the system and even the entire network. The point to be noted is that the worm does not require any host application to replicate itself. Example of worm is code red worm. Trojan horse is another type of malware which can look useful but actually it can take control of your computer. Example of Trojan horse is Sub7. Eavesdropping. What is eavesdropping? Suppose that if two persons are talking together and a third person comes and listens to their conversation without their consent, then this is called as eavesdropping. Eavesdropping can also be done in computer networking via telephone lines, cellular network, email and instant messaging. DOS attack, denial of service attack. It is basically a cyber attack. Let us understand this through an example. Here you can see whenever the user tries to access its network resource, if the network resource is already fulfilled by the request sent from the attacker, then the network resource becomes overloaded and hence it cannot accept more requests from the user. So user is shown the message that service is not available, whereas in reality the DOS attack is there. Phishing. Phishing is basically the act of stealing a user's personal information through fraud mails. These mails generally ask the user to fill the forms which need personal information, or sometimes they contain links to fraud web pages too. Cybercrime. Cybercrime is basically the misuse of computers or the internet. Now we are going to discuss some of the cybercrime. First is cyberbullying. What is cyberbullying? It is the harassment or bullying using the electronic or communication devices. Cyberstalking. Suppose if one person is not interested in communicating online with another person, but the another person is following the first person continuously to have personal interaction, then it is known as cyberstalking. Online job fraud. It is basically the attempt to defraud people who need employment by giving them false promise of better employment with higher wages. Wishing. What is wishing? It is basically a type of phishing in which the information is stolen using a fake phone call. SMSing. SMSing is basically used so that the people visit fraud websites or download malicious content via phone or web. SIM swap scam. It is basically the process of getting a new SIM card against a registered mobile number. Suppose if I have a registered mobile number and someone gets a new SIM card of the same number, then it will be called as a SIM swap scam. Credit card or debit card fraud. It is a very common practice in cybercrime where unauthorized use of another's credit or debit card information for the purpose of purchases or withdrawing funds from it. Identity theft. Whenever a person makes dishonest use of electronic signature, password or any other unique identification feature of any other person, then it is called identity theft. Next is spamming. It is basically the process of persuading a recipient to buy a product or service and visit a website via email where the recipient can make purchases, but actually it is a fake site. Ransomware. Ransomware is basically a type of malware. In it, the hacker hacks the user's device, and to decrypt his device, he can demand ransom from the user. Network security tools and services. As we know, there are a number of users on the internet with both good and bad intention. So, we need to be aware about the security issues and take protective measures to address the same. Here are the security tools and services we will be studying. So, let's proceed. Network layer security. TCP/IP protocol, which operate on the network layer, may be secured by cryptographic methods and security protocol such as SSL, secure sockets layer. They also have a symbol. Whenever we open any website, we can see a lock button by the side of URL. It is the symbol that the site is secured by SSL. Password managers. Basically, they are software applications which help a user store and organize passwords. So, whenever we need to make or organize our password, we can use password managers. Cyber laws. To control the cyber crime, some laws are made for systematic use of electronic resources, and these are called as cyber laws. Basically, these laws tell us that what would be the action against the people who commit the cyber crime. Firewall. Firewall is basically a network security system which protects a computer from internet hackers. It may be installed between external network and internal network for protecting it from malicious traffic. As you can see here, this is the external network and this is the internal network. So to prevent the internal and external both network from malicious traffic, there is a firewall between them. However, this is just a representation to make you understand that what is a firewall. Firewall comprises of three components: hardware firewall, software firewall, and network firewall. Hardware firewall is present in the form of router. Software firewall is installed on the PC, and the network firewall is present on the network. It basically encrypts the data incoming from the network and thus it adds to further protection. Now, the three types of firewall. First is packet filtering firewall. As its name suggests, this firewall filters the data packets that are coming from one network to another. This firewall is less secure as it does not check the payload of data packet. What is payload? The basic area of the data packet where IP addresses of the sender and receiver are found. Application or proxy firewall. Suppose we want to go to a particular website. Then our request is forwarded to proxy firewall and proxy firewall forwards our request to the internet. The internet replies back to the proxy firewall. So here we also get our result, but the internet does not know that who actually wants to visit the requested website. So in total, proxy firewall hides us from internet and internet hackers. Hybrid firewall. As its name suggests, it is a combination of packet filtering firewall and application or proxy firewall. They both are combined in series, which enhances the security of the system, and as a result, hybrid firewall is the most secure of all the firewalls. Packet filtering firewall is the cheapest and quickest, whereas application or proxy firewall is more secure than packet filtering firewall, but it is slower than packet filtering firewall. Antivirus. Antivirus is basically a computer program that is used to prevent, detect and remove malware. Actually, the antivirus software was developed to detect the virus and remove the computer virus. Hence, it got its name antivirus. It operates by maintaining a database of malicious definitions which are automatically updated. That is, the antivirus makes a database of malicious definition so that it can easily recognize which softwares or which files are malicious so that it can prevent them from coming to the system. Today's last topic is protective measures while accessing the internet. So here are a few measures you can follow to be digitally secure. You should keep your personal information like password private. You should delete your cookies periodically so that information like password or ID is not saved. You should practice safe browsing. For that, you can use a secure VPN connection. You must visit to safe websites only. You should make sure that you are having a secure internet connection because security of communication made over the internet is indicated by the security of protocol being used. Be careful about downloads. Whenever you are downloading something, be careful that it does not contain any kind of virus or bomb. You should choose your passwords. That is, You should make such passwords which are too strong to be determined by others. Do electronic shopping from secure sites so that you are not the victim of any cyber crime. You should use updated antivirus and firewall so that they can recognize the latest malware coming to the system and can remove them. That's all for today. Hope you enjoyed the video. Bye bye.